So don't worry about clearing your table. The tables will be bussed for us. And the buffet will remain open as long as people are going up to get food. So just take your time and get your meal and enjoy it. We will be starting in a few minutes. Thank you.
Just going to open us up with a little bit of music. My name's Jess Grace Garcia. My pronouns are they, them. And I am the music director at Community Congregational UCC in Los Alamitos. And this is my co-worship leader, Jennifer DeWitt. Could I have my guitar up here a little bit? It's just a little loud in the room. Come, you've been wounded, oh, you've lost hope. Come, you are longing for what you do not know. Come, you hungry for justice, aching for heaven on earth. Come, you've been tossed aside, don't remember what you're worth. Come as you are, come you weary, come and lay your burdens down. Come as you are, bring your hopes, bring your doubts and your scars. Come as you are. Come, you've been cast out, oh, you've been shamed. Come, you are looking for that mystery you can't name. Come, you crying for mercy, hoping for peace on earth. Come, you carrying questions, oh, you've been so hurt. Come as you are, come you weary, come and lay your burdens down. Come as you are, bring your hopes, bring your doubts and your scars. Come as you are, come you weary, come and lay your burdens down. Come as you are, bring your hopes, bring your doubts and your scars. Come as you are. Oh, you misfits and prophets, and you sinners and saints. Oh, you broken and needy, weird and weary and faint. All who seek to simply open their eyes. All who need to find a safe place to cry. Come as you are, come you're weary, come and lay your burdens down. Come as you are, bring your hopes, bring your doubts and your scars. Come as you are, bring your worries, come and lay your burdens down. Come as you are, bring your hopes, bring your doubts and your scars. Come as you are. Thank you.
Good evening. and welcome to the 2024 Architects of Justice. My name is Reverend Gary Bernard Williams. I'm a member of the CLU Board of Directors, and also I am a pastor at St. Mark United Methodist Church in South Los Angeles. I traveled a long way to get here. So I live and I work in LA, but was heavily engaged in the recent campaign here at Laguna Cliff Marriott. And I am excited to be with you this evening as we honor the workers I had a privilege to stand with at the picket line. My co-MC for the night is Reverend Dr. Sarah Halverson Connell, pastor of the Irvine United Congregational Church. Reverend Sarah, yes. Reverend Sarah has been deeply engaged in CLU's work in Orange County, and she was actually named an Architect of Justice in 2016 at the inaugural event. Come on. All right, let's bring Reverend Sarah up now.
Well, thank you, Reverend Gary. We are excited to welcome you to Orange County, and we want you to know that Orange County is not a scary place because of all these people who work so hard to make sure that it is a place with progressive values where people of all faiths can live in harmony or at least struggle with the injustices among us. It's thanks to all these people who do this work to make sure that our workplaces to not only live in Orange County, but work in Orange County, to not only work in Orange County, but live in Orange County, right? So thank you for coming to Orange County. And we're going to show you what it's all about tonight. So it's an honor to be with all of you. Welcome. I've been an active member of CLU, as said, since our beginnings here in Orange County, about 2006, when we first started organizing with workers. And it is incredible to see the growth that we have had and all of the people who have come, the mantle that has been shared and passed along, to see all of the leaders in our midst, both representing CLU, Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice, but also those who we're working with. And it's exciting to have the opportunity to honor those folks today. So it's so wonderful to be with you. As we said, we began this in 2016, took a couple years off during the pandemic, but it is good to be with you and see how we continue to grow here this night and back here at Harbor Christian Church, where we've been welcomed so many times. So it is a great place to be, and we especially want to thank our hosts for once again bringing us back. We had Jess Grace Garcia and Jennifer here leading the music, so we really want to thank you. I don't know where you went, but it was so beautiful, and we look forward to hearing more. They're from our friends at Community Congregational United Church of Christ in Los Alamitos, so thank you. We'll look forward to hearing from your church for our Los Al folks. There you are. Okay, well, before we go any further, I would like to invite the pastor of this church, the Reverend Sadie Cullenber, to come and join us as our host this evening and also to welcome us into this space and remind us of the indigenous lands of which we are upon. So, thank you.
Hello and good evening. It's such an honor to welcome all of you back for the third year in a row at Harbor. So thank you. We hope that you'll want to come and join us again this year. And I have to say, you all make our sanctuary look so beautiful. So thank you for being here tonight. We're so glad to have you. I'm now going to read an Indigenous Land and African Labor Recognition Statement that's adapted from Muslim Sister Melina Abdullah of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, with the assistance of Reverend Gregory Douglas of the Native American United Methodist Church in Anaheim. And after I read this land and labor acknowledgement, we're going to have a moment of silence together. So just be ready for that. We acknowledge that this land, which we inhabit in Orange County, is physically situated in the original ancestral homelands of the Ahachiman, Kizh, and Tongva peoples. We pay respect to these and all Indigenous peoples, past, present, and future, and their continuing presence in the homeland and throughout their historical diaspora. We pay homage to those who were stolen from Africa, placed in bondage, falsely named as chattel, and forced into labor, who were called slaves but never submitted to such, and have always been fully human with an unbroken connection to the divine and to each other. We honor our African ancestors for the still unpaid labor which built what is now the Americas. To both our Indigenous and African forebears, we commit to the continued struggle for liberation and reparations, for it is only through freedom and justice that we truly give honor. Please join me in a moment of silence. May the prayers and the meditations and the hopes in our hearts be made so. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Sadie. We have a number of special guests that are here this evening that we like to recognize. First, all of my fellow architect, that should have been you saying that. See, you should have said that, yeah.
You know what I had to do? I had to make my print so big because I'm blind now. I don't know, other folks of my age, you understand. I'm so blind, even with 18 font, I can't read it. So thank you, Pastor Sadie, for that. And yes, we do have a number of special guests with us this night, and we'd like to recognize you. First of all, would all of my fellow Architects of Justice honorees please stand and be recognized? If you won this award before, I don't have your names all there.
I would like to invite any board members, CLU, Clergy, Laity, United for Economic Justice. If you are on the board of CLU, please stand.
All right. And I'm a proud member of the host committee tonight, so will my fellow committee members stand and be recognized? And we'd also like to recognize some of our elected officials who are with us this evening. I hope that's all correct, yes. From the City of Santa Ana, Mayor Pro Tem Jesse Lopez is here. Yes. And from the City of Tustin, Councilmember Letitia Clark is here. So thank you so much for joining us. And now, Reverend Gary, you're up. I don't think we should leave each other's side.
And of course, there are the other VIPs that we need to recognize tonight as are the event staff, our servers, the people who set up the tables and prepared the room for us, everyone who helped to make this event happen. Thank you all for joining us and for your ongoing support of this work. And if you would, can you just take a look at this altar? Isn't it beautiful?
So beautiful.
The altar you see this evening was constructed by Sylvia Hernandez from the Southern California Coalition of Occupational Safety and Health. It is in honor of Orange County workers that have passed away since we last gathered. We hold their families and community in our prayers and commit to the struggle for all workers to have safe conditions in which to earn their livelihood. I'm just going to take a moment. I'd like to take another moment of silence so we can honor them. Thank you.
Well, once again, we want to thank all of you for coming. We're so inspired that you have come here to spend the evening with us. I suppose you know this is a fundraising dinner, so forgive me if you'll hear a lot of that at this point in time. But I really want to thank you for putting your money and your time and your energy and your heart here, responding to the call of your faith that stirs inside of you, calling you to seek justice, to work specifically here for economic justice, to work for racial justice, to work for LGBTQ plus justice. We're working for justice for those who are unhoused, who are hungry and marginalized. And if you are all willing to put your lives on the line, some of you even getting arrested because we know that we are called to a higher law than the lowly laws that do little to protect the average working person from growing inequality, we thank you for being here and for the work that God has called you to do. Thank you.
This evening, you will hear some powerful stories of the difference we make when we all come together across religions and regions in solidarity with low-wage workers and immigrants. We will celebrate our wins. We will honor our architects of justice. You all are a critical part of this work because we literally could not achieve all that we have done without you. So many of you are deeply involved in amplifying the voices of workers, communities of color, and immigrants. You listen, you learn, you pray, and you show up.
So this evening, we'll be inviting you to demonstrate the power of collective action in another way. We pray with you and that all of you will participate and consider giving financially this evening to support Clue at an amount that is meaningful to you. So with the help of our sponsors and our hosts and each of you who have donated in advance, we have raised just over $36,000 going into this dinner. That is amazing. You all are fantastic. But tonight, we have an additional fundraising goal of $14,000 because that's what we need to keep the movement growing.
So here is how we are going to do this tonight. Everybody have a cell phone? Let me see some cell phones. Lift them up.
All right.
Everybody has a cell phone. So to make your donations, just text Justice 24 to 50155. If you are here in the room and prefer to contribute with cash or check, we will gladly take that. The staff will come around later in the program with a collection basket. I do that a lot at my location. I usually close the doors to make sure nobody leaves. Every dollar you contribute will go directly to the work in building an organized, connected interfaith community that accompanies low-wage workers and immigrants and communities of color in their struggle for justice.
I was trying to do that all in the time he was talking to demonstrate to you how fast it can be done. I didn't quite do it in that 37 seconds, but I'm telling you this can be done quickly. So thank you to you who have already voted. I suppose I'm supposed to be able to read that. I can't. I'm going to tell my phone. I can't read that close. But you can see, look, we've just had all these donations ready. Isaiah, Kairos, thank you. Frank Alton has donated $100. So let's keep those donations coming.
So now it's my pleasure to welcome Pastor Q. Jean-Marie, a Faith Root organizer from CLU, to introduce our first honoree for the night.
Good evening, sisters and brothers. We would be amiss if we did not recognize that it's Women's History Month. So, gentlemen, join me in giving every woman in this house a round of applause. It is, and that's why it is my distinct pleasure. I'm honored to be introducing our first honoree. She is an attorney, a repertory justice scholar. Come on, somebody, can I get an amen? The chair of the first ever in the nation California Reparations Task Force. Give it up for Camila V. Moore.
Thank you.
I need to give her this.
Thank you all. Thank you all, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here before you. My name is Camila Moore, and I served as the chairperson of the First in the Nation California Reparations Task Force. As many of you all may know, the task force, as he said, was the first state in the nation. Now, since New York has a state task force, Illinois has a state task force, but the state of California trailblazed in being the first state in the nation to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans. It was based on a legislative statute called AB 3121 that was shepherded and championed by then Assembly member Shirley Weber, but she's now California's Secretary of State, and it was signed, yes, shout out Shirley Weber, Secretary of State Shirley Weber. And it was signed into law by Governor Newsom September 30th, 2020. The task force, we worked over the course of 2 years, from 2021 to 2023, traveling across the state, hearing from community members about this concept of reparatory justice for people of African descent. So what did it culminate into? The task force, we produced a 1,100-page final report with chronicling the harms and atrocities of the African American community perpetuated by the state of California. But we can't tell the full story of California without also telling the story of other groups as well. So in our report, we have stories about California natives, of the history of Latinos in this country, the history of Asians in this country, just the history of marginalized groups in this country. So I really encourage folks to really dig deep and read this report with the open heart in mind. The task force, we recommended over 100 policy proposals, and thus far, state legislators have introduced about 20 bills based on our recommendations. I am going to end my speech, but I just want to say I want to continue to stay connected with CLU, educate folks, for instance, about these bills that are coming up, because we need all the support that we can get. You know, these bills are, one, economically advantageous to all Californians, but they really get us closer to promoting healing and truth and reconciliation so that we can become a more perfect union. So thank you so much.
Now we want to invite the Reverend Walter Contreras to introduce our next honoree.
Good evening. My name is Walter Contreras, and I'm a faith-rooted organizer for CLU. I have been involved with CLU since the beginning, dating back to the 1990s. For me, it has been, and it is, the most important nonprofit rooted organization. I first became involved with CLU as a board member, and eventually I was asked to start the Black and Brown Coalition as a part-time employee. During the time that we were pushing immigration reform around the year 2000. Most recently, my work at CLU included working on COVID outreach, engaging congregations. Through this effort, CLU active one-on-one outreach engagement for these last 2 years was 37,000 contacts. But we reach even more than 20 million people through a weekly radio program over the last 2 years. We live in a very challenging times. And one of the issues close to my heart is one that has to do with the most vulnerable people among us. One of the issues I will closely be working with the Orange County is on the issue of immigration. As of this month, I will be working with SAFE Coalition for the right to vote to house asylum seekers crossing the border into our country and being bused from places like Texas. CLU is committed to making sure the justice shines on this issue. We are committed to live on Matthew 25. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, that includes immigrants, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. What that looks like is developing deep relationship with immigrants who are our neighbors, hearing their stories and struggles, and developing a strategic campaign to bring faith communities across Orange County into intimate solidarity with immigrant communities. When marginalized communities experience this kind of accompaniment, we all win. Now, you can start your journey with us today by becoming a sustaining member of CLU. As a sustaining member, you live out your values of sacred solidarity month in and month out. Your support literally funds the work that my colleagues Adam and Lucero and I will do. For as little as $15 a month, you can make a real difference. At $15 a month, you can fund a one-on-one visit with faith leaders as community members. This is the most basic aspect of our work. At $35 a month, you can support the entire day of faith-rooted organizing in Orange County. And at $50 a month, we can fund planning for pulpit visit, helping immigrants in wage workers share their struggles. And if you dare to support us with $100 a month, you can help sponsor a rising religious leader. Please give at whatever level is comfortable for you, and feel good all year long, knowing that you are making this important work possible. Thank you for rolling up your sleeves to join the struggle. Thank you very much.
All right, so check out our fundraising progress so far. We are moving in the right direction, but we still have a way to go. As you can see, we have raised just,
I don't have the number here, but we're at 38,971. We're
all
moving.
right, yep.
And I got some names to
Go ahead,
thank
please,
here,
please.
so I can actually read it. The Reverend Terry LePage has given, Stephanie Roberts, Astrid Campos, thank you. I got mine in there. Marjorie Hill, Oatmeal Patvier, sorry if I messed that up, Oatmeal. Joanne Leslie, Joel Block, Gary Williams, Christine Roy, Carol Brusiger, Jennifer DeWitt, Chris Shively, and Amina Kazi. Thank you for giving.
Right. So thank you, everyone who has contributed so far. You still have time to join us. Let me see your phones again. Show me the phones.
We got the best job ever, didn't we?
Right.
All right.
Just text to Justice24 to 50155.
All right, well, we want to thank our visionary sponsors. Those are the folks who really helped get us here. Thank you to Unite Here, Local 11, and Unite Here International Union. You all have been with us from the very start of Clue's inception. Thank you, Unite Here. We also want to thank our advocate sponsor, the NHUW. Together, they are actually matching our support tonight. So whatever you give, God bless these incredible unions. They are going to match us to ensure that we can get to that fundraising goal. So if that gives you another incentive to make a gift tonight, I hope that it will. And we want to thank you so much. Austin, are you representing both unions tonight? Where's our NUHW folks? Here you are. All right, NUHW and Unite Here. Thank you so much.
So, $5,000 funds, I'm not asking you, but if you have it, you can. $5,000 funds an entire month of a faith-rooted organizer like Reverend Walter here at Clue. The strategy sessions, the one-on-ones with clergy and lay leaders, the outreach to elected officials, and so much of the other work that goes into the hard-fought campaigns, whether it is standing up to the governor of Texas or to multinational hotel owners.
That's right. Okay, so let's see this board again. I'm going to see if I can read it. Have we gotten some more since we've been chit-chatting with y'all? All right. Myrna Bohan has just donated $50. Thank you, Myrna. And Stephanie Roberts. Is there another one? Sorry, Stephanie, I think I said your name earlier. Here we go. You guys are fast. Nan Colette, Edmund Velasco. Thank you, Sean Drexler. The Reverend Brenda Threat. Reverend Sadie Colliver. Reverend Sam Pullen. Thank you. Laura Nunez, Elaine Quirk, and Karen. You just said it and I lost it. Karen Hernandez, thank you. Thank you so much. Keep them coming, and then we'll be quiet from over here. Thank you. And okay, you could still give. I thought it was going to be quiet. You can continue to give, or you can take this time to really focus our hearts and our minds as we listen to the music of Reverend Just Grace Garcia and Jennifer. So thank you.
There's a line in this song. It's called Lovely Needy People, and there's a line that says, Kyrie eleison, and it means Lord have mercy. And so if you catch on to it and you feel like singing along on just that one line, it's a really beautiful experience. I am a worship pastor and a worship leader, so for me, I'm very much of the mind of congregational singing. So if that feels right for you, feel free to join with us.
Oh, you prisoners in your cells, all you in private hells, Kyrie eleison. All you hungry and ignored, afraid of something more, Kyrie eleison. You who feel so lost but are afraid of being found, you who are in chains but are afraid to live unbound, Kyrie eleison. Kyrie eleison. For all us lovely needy people living in this world, spinning round and round and round, round and round and round. For all us lovely broken people living in this world, spinning round and round and round, round and round and round. Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy. Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison. You children ripped and torn, battered, bruised, and worn, Kyrie eleison. All who look hate in the face, locked in hate's embrace, Kyrie eleison. You who given up and can't see anywhere but down, you who've lost all hope and think it's nowhere to be found, Kyrie eleison. Kyrie eleison. For all those lovely needy people living in this world, spinning round and round and round, round and round and round. For all those lovely broken people living in this world, spinning round and round and round, round and round and round. Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy. Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison.
So this is a part of the song that we're going to sing quite a few times. If you want to just remember this or write it down, it's there is mercy enough, there's grace enough, there's love enough for all of us.
There is mercy enough, there is grace enough, there is love enough for all of us. There is mercy enough. There is grace enough. There is love enough for all of us. Try it. Yes, there's mercy enough.
Grace.
There is grace enough. There is love enough for all of us.
Try it again. There's mercy.
There is mercy enough.
Grace.
There is grace enough.
Love.
There is love enough for all of us.
See how we're getting? Let's do it again.
There is mercy enough. There is grace enough. There is love enough for all of us.
One more time.
There is mercy enough. There is grace enough. There is love enough for all of us.
Well done.
That was so amazing. Thank you, Jess and Jennifer. Beautiful. Jess is, again, the leader at the UCC Church in Los Altos, where my good friend, the Reverend Sam, leads his good people. And he is also a pretty regular at the picket line. I don't know if you know it. If you've been around long enough, you've probably sung with him. He likes to write his own music and lead us in some really wonderful chants and songs along the way. If you were at the Posada was held at the airport in December, Rev Sam led the procession from hotel to hotel, singing and pulling his amplifier and his little wagon, and that's what this man is known for. And I think when he comes together, he brings all of us in community and reminds us that we can be not just people of action, but beautiful people of action who stand in solidarity. And that was a special day with workers at our LAX hotels. You may have noticed that at your tables there are also flyers. You will see one for a worker justice Seder that's taking place in Long Beach, just across the county line. And there's another one for an interfaith iftar in Hawthorne. We would like to invite the entire Clue community to both of these events. And they're just a few examples of the way that Clue makes an effort to offer interfaith connections and solidarity within our faith community, and with workers to grow this movement for economic justice throughout Southern California. And you're going to tell us a little bit more about what we can get, but I might just give us an update of where we are right now before you do. We are at just about $40,000. You guys are amazing. And Jess and Jennifer, I think you had us like right in that moment because you all responded. We have Julia Mangione who gave, again, Stephanie Roberts, you just keep giving. Maria Carrillo, Jackie Weber, Tara Faragian, Maria Isabel Garcia, Austin Lynch, Maribel Twan, Christopher Duarte, Lindsay Cleaver, Gagandeep Kurman, and Joe Abel. Thank you so much for your giving.
Do anybody still have their phone? Let me see. I don't see but a couple phones going up. Phones? All right, all right. So at $1,000, you can support these kinds of actions and events. If everyone at your table would give just $100, that would be $1,000 towards our fundraising goal. And $1,000 towards making sure that Clue can continue to lead the faith community in this important work. Talk it over at your tables.
But while you I get the honor to introduce you to Isaiah Kyrez, who is Clue's newest board member and a political and community organizer with NUHW. Isaiah is a member of New Song Church, one of our sponsors this evening, and Isaiah will introduce our keynote speaker. So welcome.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to start by thanking God for this opportunity to talk to this organization that I hold so dearly in my heart. As mentioned, I am a political and community organizer with the National Union of Healthcare Workers. Can I give it up? Also, an active layperson at New Song Church with our group right there. I see him over there. Hey, Maribel. Also an active UDW member, actually, recently. I see our folks over there. And like mentioned, a recent addition to the Clue board, and which I love. So today, I have the honor of introducing my dear friend, Jessie Lopez, the Honorable Jessie Lopez from Santana. As you all know, she's a courageous voice for our community here in Orange County. But I actually met her in 2019 when I was returning from DC and getting into local politics here in Orange County. We sat next to each other at a community event, and she shared that she was interested in running for city council in Santana. If I knew then now what a courageous and excellent leader she would be for Santana, I can't believe it. She has held police accountable in her city. She has protected renters, and she faced a very tough recall and won decisively. But I'll emphasize she's just also an incredible friend, an ally, and confidant. So I feel very honored to introduce this woman who is going to share her wisdom. I hope we're all inspired after we hear from her, and then realize that our county's full of leaders all across the area who are courageous. A lot of those folks are in this room now. I hope we lean on each other and are inspired to move forward after today. So please help me in welcoming Jessie Lopez. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 14 points, so I'm on my way to 18. So we're on the same boat here. Well, first I want to thank the committee, the planning committee, the board members, Clue, and really all of our friends from labor here that helped put this event together and bring us together, and all of the friends that I see in the audience. It's really good to see you here tonight. And I stand before you today deeply honored and humbled to address such a gathering group of passionate souls that fight for the noble pursuit of justice. As an elected representative for the beautiful city of Santana, I am acutely aware of all of the issues that surround us on a daily basis, the struggles, the triumphs, and the enduring resilience that in moments can feel like they define us. And today we convene under the banner of Architects for Justice, a beacon of hope and solidarity for those who have been marginalized, oppressed, and overlooked in our communities. Our theme, Resilience and Repair, encapsulates the essence of our collective mission, a mission that transcends borders, ideologies, and identities. The theme resonates deeply with me for countless reasons. It invokes memories of my mom and my grandmother, me being with them in El Salvador, and it's also a painful reminder of the time lost. It cannot be clawed back. And so, it is a sobering awareness of the pervasive injustices as well that we all work together to fight in our communities here locally and globally. And in the tapestry of our society, we find threads of injustice woven deeply into its fabric. For too long, systems rooted in white supremacy have dictated the fate of countless lives, leaving scars that run deep, wounds that refuse to heal, and in many cases, wounds that have been passed down. But just as a broken bowl can be mended with golden seams, so too can our communities, our fractured communities, find healing and restoration. I am reminded of my own journey, marked by moments of adversity and triumphs, moments of doubt, moments of sadness and rage, and moments of injustice. Having to face $1 million, having to face an attack on our communities for simply asking that our dignity be respected. The echoes of a retaliatory recall still resonate within me, a testament to the dark forces that seek to silence our voices and undermine our work. Yet, through the unwavering support of my community and many of you in this room, we emerge victorious, stronger and more determined than ever to do right by our families. And tonight, I wish to return everything that you gave to me last year. Thank you for your support. But let us not forget the struggles endured by those who came before us, in particular, the Black community and the first people of this land, who have borne the brunt of centuries of systemic oppression and violence. Their resilience in the face of such adversity is nothing short than awe-inspiring, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human soul. And then there are the workers. An applause for our workers. Who are the backbone of our economy, the unsung heroes of our society. From the halls of Unite Here to the humble abodes of hardworking families, their stories of injustice and exploitation serve as a stark reminder of the work that lies ahead. But amidst the darkness, there is light. In the solidarity of our actions, we find the power to effect meaningful change, to repair what is broken, and build a more just, equitable future for everyone. It's through our collective efforts that we can uplift those who have been downtrodden, empower those who have been disempowered, and heal the wounds of our past. However, we all know that this work is not easy. It demands much from us. It takes time from the people that we love spending time with. And there are many different challenges that we all endure in the spaces that we work in. However, we also understand that in our pursuit of a more equitable and just world, when we approach this work with love, as Bell Hooks speaks about in All About Love, we know that the outcome benefits everyone in our communities. As we embark on this journey of resilience and repair, let us never lose sight of the inherent dignity and worth of every individual. Let us stand together, shoulder to shoulder, as architects of justice, crafting a world where compassion triumphs over cruelty, where solidarity conquers division, and where the promise of a brighter tomorrow is within reach for all of us. In closing, let us draw inspiration from the words of Maya Angelou, who famously said, "We might encounter many defeats, but we must never be defeated." Let us rise then with courage in our hearts and determination in our souls, knowing that together we can mend the broken bowl and forge a future that is truly golden. Thank you for hosting me tonight, and thank you all for the life-changing work that you do. Together, we know that we can continue to strive for a world where justice will reign supreme. Thank you.
As we welcome our musicians back up, I want to give you an update on a couple more givers. Thank you so much for your continued giving. I didn't know we could just keep giving all night long, so you're really impressing me the way you spread it out like that. Thank you so much to Celeste Rivero, Felicity Figueroa, Dennis Garvey, Norma Hernandez, and an anonymous person. Thank you for your gifts. We are now at, believe it or not, 45,321. Thank you, good people. Let's listen to some music.
When I was preparing music for tonight, I actually ended up just bringing a stack of songs and realizing that I needed to listen. This is my first Clue event. Thanks to Adam for inviting me. And I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't just choosing something at random, right? And I actually wasn't sure I was gonna do this song tonight, but after hearing that incredibly inspiring message, I just think it's a good fit. Unravel the certainty. We choose the mystery of the maker of everything, and we have barely scratched the surface. Unravel the certainty. We choose the mystery of the maker of everything, and we have barely scratched the surface of you and all the ways you move. Will you liberate us all from the grip of what makes us sick? Will you tend to the walls of our battered ship? Oh, you and all the ways you move. Will you liberate us all from the grip of what makes us sick? Will you tend to the walls of our battered ship? Oh, you. The daily awakening that we choose to see each other, the wonder in everything, and we have barely scratched the surface of you and all the ways you move. Will you liberate us all from the grip of what makes us sick? Will you tend to the walls of our battered ship? Oh, you and all the ways you move. Will you liberate us all from the grip of what makes us sick? Will you tend to the walls of our battered ship? Oh, you. This love is expanding borders, and just like all those before us, you're building up new things. We're ready for new things. This love is expanding borders, and just like all those before us, you're building up new things. We're ready for new things. This love is expanding borders, and just like all those before us, you're building up new things. We're ready for new things. You're building up new things. We're ready for new things. You're building up new things. We're ready for new things. Will you liberate us all from the grip of what makes us sick? Will you tend to the walls of our battered ship? Oh, you and all the ways you move. Will you liberate us all from the grip of what makes us sick? Will you tend to the walls of our battered ship? Oh, you.
My friend Amina Kazi, who is an incredible Orange County activist and the co-executive director at the Peace and Justice Law Center in Fullerton, and you are here to take the stage to introduce our next honorees.
Thank you so much, Reverend Sarah. Wasn't that, oh, thank you. And so good to see all of you this evening. Assalamu alaikum, blessings of peace. Such beautiful music. I love it. My heart feels so full right now. And a very big, happy Ramadan to everyone. We just broke our fast with water, and I'm now very excited to indulge in the meal that you all have been enjoying. But even more exciting for me here today is to introduce our next honoree, Unite Here Local 11, striking hospitality workers. Now, I want to say a few words before they come up. They are part of, in case anyone didn't realize, it was kind of big news last year, but they are part of 18,000 hotel workers, tourism workers, hospitality workers across dozens of hotels in Southern California who have been doing waves of strikes since July 1st of last year, which is the largest strike of hotel workers in recent memory. They've been fighting for 5 main things: safe workloads, healthcare, growth, a pension, and in demand for wages that let them continue to live in the cities where they work. Now, when I heard about the plight and the struggle and the fight of the hotel workers last year, it was actually largely through CLU, through Adam here. I was struck by the stories I was hearing of parents and mothers who had to move out of Los Angeles and surrounding areas because they could no longer afford to be there, who would have to drive 3 hours into work. People who have been struggling since the pandemic just to make ends meet, while the hotel industry was seeing record-level profits, and not passing it on to the deserving people who were making that happen. Now, in my faith, in Islam, Ramadan is about achieving taqwa, or God consciousness. To me, that's like returning to the basics, our basic values. And one of our basic values is economic justice. There's a saying of the Prophet Muhammad that that you need to pay your workers before the sweat of their labor leaves their brow. And here we have people struggling for years, fighting for their rights to get their dues. And so when I heard about this struggle, Adam asked me actually to come to last year's CLU cohort to do a Know Your Rights training. And I said, you know, I'd love to, but I'd kind of like to participate too. What's going on? And he told me about an action that was being planned in Los Angeles.
And I was very proud to be there that day on July 22nd last year and one of nearly 200 people, workers, and their allies to be arrested in solidarity with the strike. Who was there with me that day? Come, please stand up. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Thank you. As fellow arrestees, as volunteers, as strikers, this reminds me of what Councilmember Jesse, what you just said so poetically about the solidarity of our actions. It's just not my issue or your issue, your cause or my cause. That no matter what happens, we stand together and we step into the unknown of what those consequences may be. That we have that courage. And so these hotel workers have been able to achieve 38 contracts across Los Angeles and Orange County. And there are only 3 more contracts left for the workers to win. Now, this event last year, the strike, the arrest, was especially important to me. One, I met a dear friend of mine, Jose, who we carpooled with the first time. He was part of last year's CLU cohort. Jose is actually struggling with serious health issues at the moment. And many of us friends here would like to ask all of you, people of faith and allies, to please hold Jose in your thoughts and prayers and send strong love to him because he really needs it. But one of the reasons I'm so honored to be here is I was actually at the Oscars on Sunday. Not on the red carpet. I was not on the red carpet, but I was on the streets. And I was on the streets behind gate facing LAPD in their full riot gear. And there was a moment, and we were running this way, and they were coming, trying to block us from getting anywhere near where the pedestrians were. Not just, they didn't want us near where even the pedestrian walkways were. And there was a moment, and they gave the dispersal order. They say, if you don't leave, we're going to start making arrests, and they have their riot gear. And I turned to my sister, I'm like, what do you want to do? She's like, what do you want to do? And then, when you're in these moments, you have your racing thoughts. And I'm like, okay, I have my 5-year-old at home, and she's sick, and she doesn't take medicine from anyone else, and then I literally, and I kid you not, had a moment where I thought about July 22nd. And I thought about all of you, the Unite Here hotel workers, and what you have put up and put on the line to do what's right, to be brave and courageous. So I had a moment of saying, consequences be damned. I'm here for human life and humanity and for a ceasefire, and I'm going to stand here until our message is heard. So it was with my distinct love, gratitude, and honor, and I mean that with all my heart. And please join me in giving a big union welcome to the Unite Here Local 11 hospitality workers.
Good evening, everyone. Austin Lynch from Unite Here Local 11. We're all very grateful for this recognition and, of course, all the solidarity and hard fighting that CLU leaders and members have done, shoulder to shoulder with us throughout this. So thank you so much, and you all deserve a round of applause because it's been astounding some of the contributions you've made to the workers' fight. Thank you. So here tonight, we have 3 heroic organizing committee leaders from the Anaheim Hilton, one of the biggest hotels in California, and they led their coworkers out on strike 3 times. And I just want to ask them to, excuse me, 4 times. You see, I screwed up. 4 times. 4 times. It was amazing. And I'd like to ask them to share, to tell you who they are and what were their favorite memories from leading those strikes, and what did it take? What did you do to inspire and lead your coworkers, over 700 workers, to come out on strike 4 times?
Hi, my name is Mayra Jimenez. I've been with the Hilton in Anaheim for 8 years. My inspire was my mom worked for housekeeping 30 years. Sorry, it's hard. I saw the way they struggled. My cousin is here. His mom did the same thing. It was so hard. I thank my parents for what they gave me and my brother, but I saw the way they struggle, and she gets mad because I do this. Right? Remember when you met her? And she was like, no, I don't like it. But Austin talked to her, and she kind of now likes it. I told her we won the contract, but it's hard. But my parents always showed me to fight for what I want and what we need, so that's what I'm doing for my kids and my grandkids.
Hi, my name is Yusiro Noyola. I am working for 9 months in the Hilton Hotel, and this is my first strike. I like to fire with very strong, and I'm very excited still here with all of us. Thank you for everything.
Hi, my name is Norma Hernandez, and I've been with Hilton Anaheim and working at Starbucks for 15 years. And I'm very proud of all my team because we stood in solidarity, and we all walked together to strike for justice and for equality and for higher wages and for, better treatment for all employees and working conditions. And it felt good to walk out as one team and shut down Starbucks. Thank you for all your support and for all the committee of Local 11 Unit and all the workers that worked hard for this contract, and keep on fighting till we get all 41 contracts. Thank you.
Sí se puede.
Norma's Starbucks is, I think, the second busiest Starbucks in Orange County, and she shut it down 4 times. Again, I just want to thank Clue, who has been there for us and I apologize because I hate trying to do specifics because I always leave something out, but from Laguna Cliffs, where Reverend Gary and so many others, many of you who stand up if you came down to Laguna Cliffs at any time, if you made it down to Laguna Cliffs with us, so many folks, all the way to last night, when Barbara from CCUSCC was keeping the beat with her car horn as we picketed to protest sexual harassment at the Sheraton Park Hotel. But so many of you have been to the massive arrest and the amazing turnout that Adam and Jennifer and so many others did for last year for the giant civil disobedience action. So I know I'm disrespecting even other things that I'm forgetting because you've done so much, but we're grateful for all of it, and it helps us know that we're going to win because we know you're by our side. Thank you. Okay. I think we go on here and we're going to
you take that photo, we'd like to invite our own Clue cohort forward. So you all, come in, take the stage. Well, while they're making their way here during that photo time, I've got an update for you. Thank you to Bill Steiner, Virginia Parks, and Colin Warren, and Sarah Kahn. We are now at 45,771, just $5,000 short of our goal. You people are incredible. Thank you. All right, you're up. Get us that last 5,000, okay? Over there.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Basha Jamil, and I work at the Council on American Islamic Relations Greater LA Area Office, CARE LA. I am the policy manager over there, and we are the largest Muslim civil liberties organization in the country. I've been with CARE LA for about a year now, and I previously worked on international human rights issues and policy advocacy at the federal level in both government and in various NGOs. I'm originally from Orange County, and so I'm happy to be back here and serving the community. And I have to say that I'm relatively new to the interfaith space and relatively new to community organizing. So I'm very, very grateful to have been introduced to the Clue community and to have been able to have this opportunity to join the faith-rooted organizing cohort. I'm learning so much about community organizing and working with really amazing people from really beautifully diverse faith backgrounds that are all rooted in liberatory love, justice, and compassion for all. The fellowship has been a really beautiful way for me to connect with like-minded people while also learning very practical skills on how to be an effective organizer. I'm really grateful to share this space with all of you today and look forward to meeting you all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and Fateh, victory. My name is Gagandeep Kaur, and I've had the privilege of being part of this year's 2024 Clue Faith-Rooted Organizing Cohort. As a member of the Sikh community, spiritually, and professionally as the Assistant Director of Youth and Education Programs for Groundswell, formerly Orange County Human Relations. I have been part of the interfaith community for 22 years, since I've been a baby. And now I have babies, so it's fun. But being part of Clue this year has felt like coming back home. As a Sikh, we are taught true enlightenment, truth-seeking can only be done when we search for those that help us learn and grow. Where we can share similarities and differences. And, not but, because we like to always say that. Similarities and differences, and we are willing to come together to serve the divine, the force that which surrounds us and moves us towards making a difference in this world. So Clue moves. Clue serves. Clue creates. And Clue provides. In this faith-rooted organizing cohort, Clue moves us towards action, to be engaged where we see injustice, to serve a greater purpose beyond our own community. In this cohort, I find a purpose to create, in the Sikh point of view, Begumpura, a place without sorrow. We have, as a collective, been provided a space with others who too are seeking a very similar purpose, personally, professionally, and most importantly, spiritually. I'm truly grateful to this Sangat, this collective, and the sacred space we get to continue to share and shape. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dustin Nguyen, and I'm a youth minister from Irvine United Congregational Church. I'm proud to be a part of CLU's faith-rooted organizing cohort. In this cohort, my focus is on organizing queer folks of faith. Yes, we do exist. And allies in Orange County to tackle the many issues affecting queer folks here in Orange County. If this kind of work speaks to you, let's chat afterwards. My faith journey is quite unique in that I consider myself a Buddhist follower of Jesus. In the Buddhist tradition, there is the term bodhisattva, which refers to an enlightened being who chooses to remain on earth to help other beings become enlightened. Jesus, to me, is a bodhisattva who entered into human history to walk alongside us in this mud of life and show us the path to enlightenment. We too have the capacity to be bodhisattvas. Everyone here, in fact, is a bodhisattva. You have been a lamp, a bridge, a refuge for workers enduring the violence of poverty. You have struggled and continue to struggle for a just and sacred society where there will be no more suffering and all will be awakened. It is an honor to be a part of CLU. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gagandeep, Dustin, and Basha. All of your words were just so powerful and moving, and I'm so glad that you're representing us, doing this work, and learning how we can be more communally minded. It's really thrilling to see people of all generations and engaging in the work of CLU. I've been around a long time when there were just a few of us on our small CLU Orange County team, and while it was really incredible and powerful to have that prophetic voice, what I've learned is that it can be really lonely to speak a prophetic voice when there's just one or two of us. But what's really incredible is that when we can come together, we can tap in to that prophetic call within all of us and feel that solidarity that comes in knowing that we're not alone and we can affect real change when we work together. So thank you so much for being a part of this beloved community. And I truly mean this completely off script. It's incredible to see what CLU Orange County has become in the last 15, 17, 18 years, however it's been that we've been around. And it's because all of you have chosen to listen to that call within that pulled you in and made you recognize that alone we're just these islands, but when we come together, we can do so much. So thank you for being brave enough to stand with us and stand with workers and our larger community, because ultimately we are called to be this nonviolent force together, to be more powerful than the greed that grinds people's lives into hopelessness. And he's up. You're up. You want me to take this again? All right, folks. Oh, thank you. You've been so generous already. It's really hard to keep asking you for money. You've been amazing. So we're going to head straight to our music and invite our musicians back.
I think what's probably great about this crowd is that they all have to do a similar job as you often, right? And I think so that's why everyone will pull out their phones, followed directions, and jumped on it because they understand the burden of would you agree? We understand the burden. So, big breath. So this is a song called God Is, And it's one of our church's favorite kind of anthems, and our worship team's favorite anthems. It's very simple, it's repetitive, and I think the repetitiveness of it is intentional so that it can kind of settle into our souls in different ways. Whoever God is to you, okay? I think all of us, even when we're in Christian settings like I am often in, God feels different to a lot of us. And so I just want to challenge you to not dismiss it if the Christian God is not your God, but to consider what that might mean for you. This was written by, most of these songs were written by queer people. This song was written by a friend of mine, and one of the things that I love about it is that it addresses the hurt that so many of us that grew up in conservative communities. I think it's okay in this room. How many of us grew up in conservative spaces? A lot of us. Yeah. So understand that when we're talking about God, there's a line that says, it starts off with, God was never angry, God was not against me, God was never far away. We're referencing to that hurt that we experienced previously. So I just want to kind of get you in the right headspace. Something I'm a big believer in is consent in worship, because I grew up evangelical and that was not a thing. So we spend time prepping.
God was never angry, God was not against me, God was never far away. God's not disappointed, God's not keeping score, and God's not judging my mistakes. God is light, God is love. Do not fear, for God's with us. God is good, God is grace. God will never hide their face, 'cause God is, 'cause God is. God was never angry, God was not against me, God was never far away. God's not disappointed, God's not keeping score, and God's not is never angry. God is not against me. God is never far away. God is never angry. God is not against me. God is never far away. God is never angry. God is not against me. God is never far away. God is never far away. Oh, God is.
There is something about the power of music that ushers us into a space with the Spirit. Come on, let's bless these one more time. Give a hand praise. So it's my honor right now and pleased to welcome to the stage the director, executive director of CLU, Reverend Jennifer Gutierrez.
Hey, everybody. I'm glad that people are getting up and getting your cookies and a little more to drink, so feel free to do that. There's also a restroom over here, so whatever you need to do while I'm talking is cool. Thank you all for coming. So I grew up in rural Missouri, and after my going to my local high school, I went to this fancy liberal arts college on the East Coast. And the way that the school did their financial aid at the time is that they would require a parental contribution based on your parents' income, and then a student contribution, which I was supposed to earn over the summer each year before I went, and then they'd cover the rest, which all in all is a really fabulous deal, right? But being from a small town, I found it kind of difficult every summer to find a job that would help me earn enough to meet that student contribution in my small town in Missouri. The minimum wage at the time, because Missouri follows the federal minimum wage, was somewhere between $4.25 and $4.75 an hour. And on that, I was supposed to come up with $2,000 every summer, plus pay for my gas to get to work and all of that, right? So simple math told me that minimum wage job just wasn't going to cut it. I needed just a little bit more, right? So one summer I worked as a waitress, right? Because the tips kind of, bumped me up a bit, and that helped me earn the extra that I needed. The next summer I worked at a convenience store. They paid minimum wage, but I took the overnight shift, right? Which paid a little more so that I could, earn what I needed that summer. And then the other 2 summers I was lucky enough to get jobs at local factories that paid a little bit above minimum so they could retain their workforce, right? And what I want to tell you is something that was consistent across all of these summer jobs was sexual harassment. Sometimes it would come from customers, like in the case of the waitressing job. Sometimes it would come from employees, from staff, other, colleagues. Sometimes it would come from management, unfortunately. Sorry, I'm missing a page of my comments. So you're gonna have to let me recover myself and remember what I was supposed to say. Thank you. But anyway, my point, so after I did that, I went to college, I got out of college, I moved to Los Angeles, I went to seminary, and then started working in the church. And because I had done all these jobs, unfortunately, I was not surprised when I got to the local church and found that sexual harassment was also a part of that work. unfortunately, at the time, like, I didn't even, because I had lived in it so long, I didn't even think that this was a problem I was supposed to be trying to fix, right? It didn't even occur to me that this was something that could change, or that I should step forward and try to help it change. But I have to say, luckily, I'm not the only person that kind of went through this experience, right? So we know that there's been a reckoning recently with the Me Too movement. And this has, yes, you can applaud for that. So luckily, there were other people that were having this same experience. He's crying out for all of us. I thank you. Thank you for being with me on this. So other people were having the same experience, and they had the courage to step forward and say something, right? So that's how this reckoning happened. Unfortunately, that reckoning hasn't happened in all sectors, right? Just yesterday, there was a march at the Sheraton Park Hotel in Anaheim to call out Aimbridge Hospitality, AKA Shamebridge, for not protecting their workers from sexual harassment. 3 courageous women who work at that hotel have come forward to tell their stories. 2 more have come forward at the Hampton Inn in Santa Monica, which is also operated by Shamebridge. Now, we know that if 5 women have come forward in the last few months, there's likely a lot more who are suffering, right? But perhaps it's too risky for them to speak out. Now, I need you to know, and you know this already, but the violence of sexual harassment isn't the only lie that's baked into our economy that disproportionately affects women. Did you know that Tuesday of just this week that passed was Equal Pay Day? Tuesday, March 12th, was the day that white women like me, on average, caught up to our male counterparts in wages that they earned in 2023. So in other words, because women earn so much less than men on average in the same professions, we had to work through March 12th, 2024 to catch up to what the men earned by the end of 2023, right? You get how that works? Now, if you're a black woman, I'm sorry to tell you that you don't get to celebrate Equal Pay Day till, I think it's like July 9th or something like that. And if you're a Latina, Equal Pay Day for you doesn't come until October 3rd. What I'm trying to say is that the system is broken, right? The value that we place on different people's labor and different types of labor, it's illogical, right? It makes no sense. If you think about it, why folk that work caring for our youngest children, right? Teachers, those that shape and mold young people, right? Who, shape who they're going to be, right? Why do they earn less than somebody who let's say, invested in, an investment banker, right? What value is that investment banker adding to the economy more, or to humanity, more than those educators? Or take healthcare workers, right? Who do the beautiful work of caring for us when we're sick. Why should they earn less than the folk who, decided to build the hospital there and, maybe manage the hedge fund that owns it, right? Or take those who do the beautiful job of caring for us as we get older, who come into our homes and take care of us, home care workers, right? Such beautiful, caring work. Why do they earn then less than almost anybody else you could think of, right? Because the system is broken. The value we place on different people's labor and different types of labor is illogical. It makes no sense. Now, there's a story in the Hebrew Bible from the book of Jeremiah. It's in chapter 19. It's too long, so I'm not going to read it to you, but I'll give you the gist, right? God tells Jeremiah to go buy a clay pot, to gather some city leaders together, and then go to a public place and throw the pot down so it shatters in front of everyone. And then Jeremiah is supposed to tell everyone that God's going to do the same to them because of a long laundry list of sins that are endemic to their society. Now, when you read it, it kind of comes off as a threat, right? Y'all been doing terrible things, so I'm going to break you like this pot. I've always had a little trouble with that kind of vengeance-filled God that, threatens to run people. But what makes sense to me that God is saying through Jeremiah is that you are broken like this pot, right? You don't even know it. You've gotten so used to the way things are that you don't even know how broken you are. And because you're broken, you do terrible things to each other. Just like I got used to that sexual harassment I talked about that I didn't even know was there, right? What I have to say, though, I could go on, just like Jeremiah is supposed to do in the passage about the long laundry list of things that are wrong with society, and maybe I already have. But the theme of tonight is not about the broken pot, right? That's not what we chose. The theme of tonight was kintsugi, the bowl that was repaired, right? I don't know if there were supposed to be little cards that came out that were part of the centerpieces. I don't know if they're there or not, but describes the process of kintsugi, of a bowl that's been broken and then put back together with a golden lacquer so that it's an even more beautiful thing than when you started out. So the question I think for us is, what is the golden lacquer in our case? And I think the golden lacquer for us has to be love. It has to be a process of listening to the pain of those that speak out like the silence breakers at the Sheraton Park Hotel. It's a process of showing up and marching with janitors who are demanding a new just contract that protects their safety. It's a process of counting votes with nursing home workers, right? Because a big part of that golden lacquer is unionization. It's a process of praying with hospital workers at the tenant facilities throughout Orange County, right? As they prepare to speak out for justice for themselves. It's a process of pushing forward voting rights for immigrants and reparations for Black Americans that have been consistently the losers of our broken economic system. Now, my friends, kintsugi on this society level is hard work. It's work that we can only do together. So I really want to say to all of you is thank you for being in this struggle with us. Thank you for being part of the golden lacquer that holds us together. Thank you for being love in action. Thank you.
The thank yous continue. Thank you to Marlene Gillespie. She's one of mine. Gillespie. Mary Gleason, Sylvia Hernandez, Maria Rosa Lopez, Adriana Brindis, Cricket Hamai, and we are at $46,271. You all are amazing. Thank you to our justice seekers, to the ACLU of Southern California, to New Song Church, to the Orange County Federation of Labor, the Sisters of St. Joseph, Teamsters, Local 2010, and the United Steelworkers, Local 675. Thank you all, and you've got some more thank yous, right? Come on, let's finish in gratitude.
I want to also share a big thank you to the host church, to Harbor Christian Church, for your hospitality, for showing us a shining example of generosity and support of the movement. I also want to invite all of you to do what? Keep giving. Keep giving. Every donation counts. We thank you so much for your generosity so far. We will take checks. We will send a basket around. We can play some marching music so you can come around and drop it in the basket like we used to do in the old days. Amen. But just keep giving. We're trying to reach our goal. We need another $4,000, so we're trying to get there tonight. All right, table talk. Talk around the table. See if y'all can come up with something together. I don't see anybody talking. Talk around the tables.
Well, you're all so techie. I think so many of you gave. Yeah. Thank you. You can put your money in the baskets. We're going to end on a song and just want to leave you with a benediction. So, my friends, go in peace, work for justice, and live in love. Amen. Amen. Send us off.
You're not sure who you really are, and all you feel is the shape of your scars, and you have more questions than you can count. Open your eyes, look all around. You aren't alone, this is your home. And remember